Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Kiyemba Evelyn Allen is my name. Still happy to relate with you once again. Welcome to Eve's Handbook. I first of all want to thank you so much for always tuning in, for liking us on all our social platforms. Thank you so much. We appreciate your collaboration with us. Thank you so much for the time that has been. We've been through a lot, and this time we are talking about the month of March, which is dedicated to the woman. We want to see how significant this woman has been during this time of the pandemic, and what challenges she has faced, and what can be done for her to have her esteem still rise up, not to give up, because life has to continue on. Guess what? Our guest today is none other than Lady Stella, our gender expert, and let me ask her to say hi to you. Lady Stella, you're welcome.
Thank you, the host. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm so glad to be on this forum today.
Thank you. It's been a while, really.
Yes, it has.
We are so happy to have you with us once again.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, Lady Stella, talking about the month of March, it's a woman's month, ladies' month.
Yes.
And let me say, unfortunately, a year back, where the woman would have featured so significantly, was found in lockdown. And I believe a lot of things affected her. A lot of things retarded her progress. And what could be some of those things which were cited as to have hindered her in making her really significant in her time as a woman in her society?
Thank you very much, Lady Eve. Like you've asked, we've been in a very tough period. It has been the lockdown period, the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And if you can recall, it commenced in March 2020. Yes. The Women's Month. Yes. And last month we celebrated the International Women's Day. But we are looking at how do we what was the effect of COVID-19 on the woman?
Yes.
We all know the very many effects of COVID-19 to everyone in society, but we want to look at particularly the woman.
Why the woman?
Why the woman? We all know. We are going to look at the woman and the economy. Yes. We all know that we have both the informal and formal sector. Okay. And in both these sectors, the majority of the players are women.
Yes.
And with the COVID-19 lockdown came on issues of total lockdown.
Yes.
Total lockdown meant the woman could not move. For those in the informal sector, they could not do anything. And the informal sector, apart from the critical ones, they were at home. And the fact that they do a lot of work in the economy, the lockdown led to a slow on the pace of which work would be done. Okay. And thereby affecting the income of the household and the income of every nation. And
so that means that the whole society was affected?
Yes,
because
affected.
Yes, everybody's community was affected because of that informal sector
and formal sector.
Yes.
A combination.
Okay.
You find that the majority are women.
Yes.
And they drive the economy.
Okay.
And the fact that we're in a lockdown, most things were not moving. And it affected us.
Okay.
Worldwide, moreover.
Worldwide, yes. Now, when you look at the woman today, as we celebrated the International Women's Day,
Yes.
was there really something significant that a woman could really pride in, that in spite of the lockdown, something happened? At least we are proud to be women.
Yes. When we look at the effects of the lockdown,
Yes.
of COVID-19 on the woman, I've looked at the economy,
Mm.
but also looked that they were it led to an escalating numbers of sexual and gender-based violence abuses,
Okay.
and also abuses on the girl child.
Okay.
Because of course the children were at home, the women were at home, and the fact that they were not doing things the way they were doing things before, there was a lot of friction.
Okay.
This is the first time children
And parents are staying together.
couples are staying together for a long time. It led to that as well.
Okay.
Then there was an effect on health.
Yes.
Women were supposed to, of course, we know they do most of the care in terms of health is done by a woman at home.
Okay.
If you have a sick spouse, if you have a sick child, if you have a sick in-law, if you have a sick relative, if you have a sick friend, you'll find that the woman
Is fast in
responding,
Attending, yes.
to this patient.
Yes.
You'll find that with the lockdown, health facilities could have been far away from them.
Even locked up.
No, the health facilities were open,
Okay,
but
but
the distance
accessibility.
and the lockdown itself, there was a total lockdown and access became a problem.
Yes.
For those that would go for a normal refill of medication, could not go. And for those that would seek medical care because of certain conditions they had, could not go, and that was a negative
Impact.
impact
And actually,
on the woman per se.
yes.
Then the closure of schools itself.
Okay. How?
The children
Okay.
are back home,
Okay. Okay.
and you are supposed to take care of them,
Feed
and
them.
you're not working. You can just imagine.
They want food.
They want food, they want clothing, they want attention, they want your time, and your time is divided mentally, psychologically. You're already affected
Yes.
by the lockdown itself on the way you're doing life. That was also negative. So when you say, but of course, that was a period that we were all not prepared for, and we had to go through it. But as the lockdown eased, we had to look at all this time. There's this woman who has strength,
Who has strength? Who has to go back?
who has to go back and work, who has to survive, and not only herself but also working with the children, the community, and wherever they are.
Okay.
Now, for them, for having gone through the lockdown, irrespective of the effects on them, the negative ones, they still had to come out of it.
Okay. So, you from your assessment, you could see that still something good came out,
Yes,
and this woman was able to bounce back
yes.
to work that fast.
Of course, the lockdown was slow in some places. It was, it could have been high in some places, but eventually, when they started easing the lockdown, things started getting to normal.
Getting back to normal.
Yes.
Okay.
And the most important thing that we see in this is the strength of this woman.
Okay.
Building
How?
on this, because during the lockdown, there were very many things that could have happened to them,
Yes.
just like I said. But they managed to persevere.
Okay.
They stayed through and supported their families, supported their communities, and did what they were doing, albeit on a slow pace.
Okay.
But now when they eased the lockdown, they bounced back.
Okay.
And when they bounce back, we should be interested in looking at the strength.
The strength
at
of
which
the
they are,
woman.
of the woman, as which they are the strength they are coming with after a lockdown. And of course, during the lockdown, very many thoughts went through their minds.
Okay.
Everyone had to change the way
Okay.
they were doing things.
Okay.
Had to start seeing things from a different angle.
perspective.
And that's where we are so proud that when they came back, everyone appreciated the strength that they've had
Okay.
before, and the strength that the new challenge was bringing on board.
Okay.
And they decided, wherever they are, that we have to move on. because life had pulled us back. But we still have the responsibilities that we are having.
On our hands.
We still have the challenges that we are having. We still have the effects of COVID-19. And there's no way we are going to sit back. We should move and we start doing things a different way. And when you look around, first and foremost, you look at a woman. Before the lockdown, they could have been, dilly-dallying a little bit, relaxing, saying things would be normal. But the moment the lockdown set in, they started thinking.
Reality hit.
Reality hit hard to all of us.
Okay.
Then we started thinking and saying, if it ever happens again, shall I be prepared?
Okay.
Shall we be prepared?
So, do you think that this woman is, should anything happen again, like a lockdown, for example, like other countries are into lockdown again, do you think the woman is laying strategies on how to go through another lockdown just in case it hits again?
Yes, they are. Because the fact that you are almost responsible for your society.
Yes.
First and foremost, your household.
Yes.
The family. And the society around you. And you've gone through this, something you never prepared for. Believe you me, now as they bounce back, they are more prepared.
Okay.
That if anything ever happens,
they are ready.
They are ready.
Okay.
Because they've gone through it, they've learned. Some of us don't know how to save. Some of us have been taking things for granted, thinking they will automatically come.
Things will automatically happen.
Come. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll go work, and I have something. But now we have to rethink.
Some have learned and they've not been digging.
They've not been digging. They've not been utilizing it. But for this little time that they were at home, for those that went to the villages, had to start work.
Okay.
For those that were at home, people started working from home.
Yes.
And the working from home, they realized that, oh, I can actually do work from home and still get better than what I would earn if I moved out of home. So we are going to find more women in the homes. Okay. And we are going to find that there's shopping for us in our setting as a country. We don't have gazetted shopping place centers that you go for shopping. But we can create shopping, we can create a market or a shopping place wherever we are. Okay. So you're going to see that in the outskirts of urban settings, there are other smaller markets created, and other smaller satellite centers coming up. So, and yet the people are also there.
And do you know that most of them are run by women?
Most of them are run by women. So they've bounced back to the economy. And now when they bounce back in a different style. Okay. If I can do work from home, and they're going to do they're going to have multiple things they're doing. They're not going to do one from now on, because when they were at home, they tried their hands on certain things, and they find the things they tried their hands on are better than what they were doing before. Or they will add, they will have to have an addition source of income. So that you do some from home and then some you venture out. And when they come back, we shall still be doing well. Yes. And we're already stabilizing now. Okay. Yes. And if you went to some places you live in, you will not think that there was a lockdown. Sure. Yes.
Let me ask, this could be a little bit off, but why is it that the women bounce back more than the men? Faster?
Of course, in terms of coping, the women always cope faster. Okay. Because they have a supportive network. Okay. They open up. When a woman has a problem, it's very rare that they'll keep quiet. They will share.
But what about the men? I always see them around, and in groups, and what don't they talk about such things?
No, when they're in groups, they will talk in general terms. Okay. But men take long to open up. Okay. Yeah, they take long to open up. Okay. And it's very rare that they open up. Okay. But they don't open up. But for women, the fact that a woman has not spoken, it means they don't have a problem. Okay. If they have a problem, they'll just speak it out. Speak it out. They go to somebody to talk to them, and this helps them to cope. They want solutions, and they want ideas from their other colleagues. Yes. And this helps them to cope.
Actually, you remind me, you find most supportive groups, let me say, formed groups,
Yes.
most of them are for
Yes,
are
most of
comprised of women.
they are, yes, definitely. Most of them, the women, the support groups in the communities are mostly women. Yes, you find at the village level they have a village saving and loan association scheme, and it's mostly women. And when they go there, it's not only about savings, it's not only about resources, it's about the general
well-being
of the each one's household and the community.
And the community at
and
large.
that's where they get that kind of support.
Okay.
Even when they go to churches, there are women groups in the churches that also help them. They are able to talk.
Yes.
Because the women will say yes. If you, of course, wherever you're going, they will have a group. If you have any problem, you can come to us. So you find it's easier for them to talk with the women groups in the community, in the churches, even in their, where they go to work in the formal sector. They'll find somebody whom they go to and they can talk to. So when they talk to them, they are able to be helped.
Maybe next time we should get a man to tell us why the men don't open up. Or because these gender issues, they affect both.
Yes, they affect both.
And I believe support must be for both.
That's true.
If there's to be some great stability in the family and in the community.
Yes.
So now this lady, this woman is bouncing back and he's working.
Yes.
And what kind of support or advice would you give her in order for her to maintain that and not to feel really constrained?
One of the things that I can ask a woman to do, first and foremost, in whatever, of course, I'll dwell on COVID-19, and there are also other challenges that the woman has.
Yes.
The most important thing is accepting and knowing it is a challenge.
Okay.
The moment you know it is a challenge, the moment you know it is an issue that you have to deal with, you should seek for support. You should seek for help. That's the starting point.
Okay.
Because we all go through various challenges.
Yes.
And we all consult at our different levels.
Exactly.
So when you keep quiet, nobody is going to know what is happening to you.
Yes.
You're supposed to find a confidant that
Exactly.
you confide in. You talk to her and they support you.
Okay.
Because when you keep quiet, nobody is going to know.
Exactly.
Or everyone is dealing with their own
Their
issues,
own challenges. Yes.
There are too many. Some know how to cope on their own by listening to others, but some you need to break
They need
silence.
that external support.
External support. And the external support is always there.
Yes.
Right in with a family, household level, community level, and where we go to interact, where we spend most of our time. There's always somebody who can ably support us.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this lady, the woman, I dwell on the woman because, like you said, she's the pillar of the nation. Let me say the nation.
Yes.
Because even in the Bible, when you actually read through the Bible, you find out that people who supported the work of God were mostly women.
Yes.
Talk of Tabitha, talk of Lydia, talk of Abigail. These were women who really saved situations and supported men of God. Now, this woman, do they get time for themselves? You can have all the time for others, but what about yourself as a woman?
The moment you have time for others, you have time for yourself. Yes. When you're interacting with other people, you're speaking to the inner you.
Okay.
Yes. And that's why in most cases, those that they go to have a lot of time to themselves.
Okay.
Because they could be going through certain problems, and then people assume that they are okay. I don't think that person has a problem. But the more you interact with people, the more you start seeing your problem as non-existent.
Okay.
Because when you're encountering a problem, it always occurs to you that you are in the worst
situation. Yes.
Nobody understands your situation.
And nobody has ever gone through that.
Nobody has ever gone through my situation. You're enclosed.
Okay.
But the moment you start going out and seeking for help,
sharing it out with others,
and by sharing out, you're seeking for help.
Yes.
Now, as you're seeking for help, whoever you're going to, who could be a very busy person, it's an opportunity for them to share with you what you're going through, and unbeknown to you, they may be going through a similar issue or a problem.
Okay.
So by you sharing with them, you are actually supporting them to heal.
Okay.
And that's why in most cases, whenever you attend to a woman or even a man who has a problem, you cease having problems. You cease seeing problems the way you've been seeing it.
Yes.
Because you are assuming
yours is the worst.
It's until somebody opens up and tells you, no, of all the problems you're talking about, there is also this scenario. There's also this scenario. Yes.
But you see, Lady Stella, yes, I understand that one. I understand. But sometimes you find that this lady, she works so hard. She supports everybody else. She can decide to eat everybody else to eat food, and for her, she doesn't eat. She can decide to buy to dress up everybody and not herself. She decides to gather all the money and pay the school fees. And she herself fails to do something for herself, as in a way of rewarding herself, you know. So talk to that kind of woman also, because we need them to be motivated and stay the course.
You know, the mindset is that by socialization, everybody thinks the woman should be responsible for care.
Yes.
And like I said earlier on, somebody is sick, they'll never call a man. They will call a woman.
A woman. By the way,
somebody has an issue, they'll never call a man, they'll call a woman.
But do you know what? Do you know that even I listen to men, some programs,
yes,
and the man says, I want a woman who will care for me, who will love me. Then I ask myself, what about you? Are you ready to also care for that woman? Please go ahead.
Yeah, because they think a woman is supposed to care. And of course we know that is true. Care is for women.
Yes.
And it's until the woman feels that I've cared enough, that's when they start caring for themselves, which is too late. Yes, so while they care for others, they should also be caring for themselves. But unfortunately, for any woman, they'll say, my family first, my family first, my family first. Those that are unprivileged in my family should be the first, or even my friends should be the first. Then time drags on, and you find that you've missed out on the care, and then you scramble down, because when it gives way completely.
What are the effects of that?
It is psychological. It could be physical. When you say psychological, it could be mentally. Because at the back of your mind, I cared for this, I did everything, is this how they pay me back? So it hits you very hard. But again, that is a woman.
Yes.
That is the strength and the beauty of being a woman. They will not even think about, they'll think for a short time that it has hit them bad, and they will bounce back. They'll always tell you, I did my part. That is how far I could go.
Yes.
I'm going to bounce back. And they always bounce back. That is the beauty. But as they are bouncing back, that's when they start realizing that, I think the other time they learned from their experience. I took care of other people, and this is what I got. I think this time round, I should start taking care of myself. But at the end of the day, they are happy and appreciative that they did their role, because when it comes to care, women do the care.
Yes. But do the women really realize that? Do they learn lessons from that? That no, last time I didn't do enough for myself. I should I should now do something for myself. Or we still go ahead and that motherly care,
I'm telling you, the strength that the woman has is unmatched.
Yes.
Even when they go through such an experience,
yes,
they always say that was a different experience.
Okay.
I think this one is going to be
different. Okay.
Let me give it my whole.
Okay.
They still give their whole.
Okay.
And they may get disappointed, but the beauty is
they never give up.
Every time they fall, they get up.
Okay.
They rise. They never give up, and that is the grace.
The beauty of being
a woman. And because you're responsible and you're supposed to do that,
and it gives that inner satisfaction.
It gives that inner satisfaction. Actually, they don't get even disappointed. They may get disappointed for a short time, but after some time they say that was that.
We don't put it to the heart
anew, and that's why you see they get the strength just keeps on building, being renewed all the time. Every time they get disappointed, it's renewed. Because they said this was a bad experience, I think I'm going to have a better one. But when they are going, at first they will be reserved, but after some time they relax. Then when the disappointment sets in, they still have hope. Yes, and that is the strength that a woman has. But we also say you learn. You also have to go slow and try to take care of yourself and love yourself. We always talk of self-love. Love yourself first, then you go and love the others. So that you don't have to keep on being disappointed all the time. But and we always preach self-love.
What are some of the ways that that a woman can really manifest that self-love? What are some of the ways? Because it's easy to talk about self-love, and somebody out there doesn't even understand. They can think that I can buy myself a bottle of soda, I'm loving myself. What are some of the ways?
I think when we talk of self-love, first and foremost, appreciate your strength as a woman. Then look at your weaknesses and also appreciate your weaknesses and work towards improving your weaknesses. The moment you improve your weaknesses, you're going to love yourself. You're going to do everything without apportioning blame to other people.
But how do I love myself? I want to see. How do I, so that somebody really feels that, yes, she's a woman, she has done ABCD for everybody else, and she has not excluded herself?
The moment you're loving yourself is trying to put away negative energy from your life.
How?
There are certain things that put you off. Don't pay too much attention to them. Because you may not change. You're a mother.
Yes.
And you have the children.
It's your calling.
You want the best for your children, but you're not seeing it coming. So you're not going to break down because of your children. You're going to pray for them, but you should also love yourself.
As a woman.
You're married and you're having problems in your relationship. You're not going to turn a grown-up man into what you want. Ignore the negative and concentrate on the positive in that marriage. Because you shut down the negative, then you're going to love yourself. But if every time, because you think you failed, you start apportioning blame, it's because of the way I've raised my children, that's how they are. It's because of the way I'm behaving, that's why my relationship is breaking down. You don't have control over that. This is a grown-up person who has a conscience, who can make a decision on their own independently, and you're not going to turn them around. So you have to accept the person because you've already made a choice. You accept the person the way they are, the negative ones, you shut your ears. You shut your eyes, close your ears on the negative, and you go with the positive, and you'll find life will continue.
And you keep on your knees.
Of course.
Lady Stella, our time is almost gone. But just a word of encouragement to this woman who is still living in this pandemic, just like in 1 minute, who is still surrounded with this pandemic challenge, and yet has a lot of responsibility on her hands.
My advice to this woman is one, you're very strong, you're able, you can get up on your feet. Like you said, don't forget about praying. All situations have a solution. All situations have an answer. The moment you pray, things will fall into peace. Everything will come into place the way you've prayed. And if you have a problem, don't keep quiet. Speak. 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 don't keep quiet. Even as you pray, you're talking.
Okay.
Also find somebody to talk to.
Okay.
Find somebody to support you so that you pray as a team.
Okay.
And then seeking for help. Whenever you feel you're down, whenever you feel things are not adding up, find somebody you confide in. A problem shared
is a problem.
Is a problem half solved. Because I know you're very strong. Even with the problems you go through, you still come out.
Okay.
You still shine. So seek for help and love yourself.
Okay.
Cut off all the negative factors in your lives and strive for the positive ones.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lady Stella. I believe to our viewers, you've been blessed, and I believe you're happy to be a woman. You're glad to be a woman, and you are still going to be glad to be a woman. And you know, those challenges of life, they are what make us strong. They are what make us to be women. So let's rise up and embrace our roles as women, and we move on, because that's the calling that God placed upon us. Remember, we are happy to be women. And don't forget to have our masks on always. We as mothers, they need us more today, maybe more than fathers. You don't need to die prematurely. Don't forget to sanitize, and of course to wash your hands, and or have your wet wipes always. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening in to us, and please rise up, take up the challenge, and be that strong woman that you're supposed to be in your family, for your children, for your husband, for your community, and for your nation. God bless you so much. To God be all the glory.